Good morning, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is courtroom 1, session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Letitia Fowler, the Office of Public Defender.
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
My name is Michael Jason Keene.
Good morning, Mr. Keene. You're here in 19 MM 9643. You were arrested for trespass on property other than a structure or a conveyance.
That's true and correct.
There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Did you want to resolve your case this morning, Mr. Keene?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, 3 days with credit time served. Court costs, no return to the scene of the trespass.
Mr. Keene, did you want to accept the offer?
Yes.
All right. I'll need you to sign the plea form, please.
Enter a plea of no contest.
Thank you. Mr. King, did you have a chance to read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
All right, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You will have to pay court costs, which are due by December 2nd of 2020. You are also not allowed to return to the 601 East Rollins Street, which is the Advent Health, and abide by the trespass warning. Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Stephen Morgan.
Mr. Haddon, you were here in nineteen MO 1912. You were arrested for camping. There's probable cause. Looks like you're also out on release for camping. Mr. Haddon, do you want to resolve both of these cases this morning?
Yes.
All right. Was there an offer for Mr. Haddon?
Yes, adjudication of guilt, 3 days, credit time served, and court costs, no return to the scene of the trespass on each.
Okay. 11:30. How many days? 5 days? Okay. So we'll do 5 days.
Time served.
5. And then on the,
Yes, 3 on this one, 5 on that.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Haddon, it'll be time served on each of the cases.
Okay.
You won't have to worry about going back to court. Did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, I did.
All right. And did you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
Definitely not.
All right, sir, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on each case. In 19 MO 1912, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 3 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs in each case. Those will be due by December 2nd of 2020. And then in the 19 MO 1837, I'll sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 5 days' time served. You are not to return to the
Clearly can't.
Wall Street area. Yes, sir. You
Okay.
can't return to where you were arrested. Those are to run concurrent to one another. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Nieves' behavior, Your Honor.
All right. That's 19 CF 16506. Mr. Nieves was arrested for armed burglary of a conveyance with a firearm, grand theft, third degree of a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, and petty theft. I'm finding a waiver of his appearance based upon his behavior and inability to come to court. I'll appoint the public defender in all of the cases. Bond on count 1 is 10,000. Bond on count 2 is going to be 150. Bond on count 3 will be 150. Bond on count 4, 150. Bond on count 5, 100. 19 CF 16482. He was arrested for armed burglary of an occupied dwelling, possession of a firearm, and the commission of a felony, and carrying a concealed weapon. There is probable cause. Count 1. Bond is going to be $2,500. Count 2, 150. Count 3, 100. He's not to return to the scene of any of the places. And then he's got 19 CF 16481. He was arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause, and bond is $1,000. Good morning, your name?
Brandy Poe.
Ms. Poe, you're here in 19 CF 16480. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of a controlled substance. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wait,
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Jay Pollen.
Mr. Pollen, this is 19 MM 774. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in both of your cases. Bond on count 1 is 100. Bond on count 2 is 100. Bond on count 3 is 100. You're not to return to the Wawa at 5820 Edgewater Drive. And in 19 CF 16474, you were arrested for introducing contraband into a county facility and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those offenses as well. Bond on count 1 is going to be 1,000. Bond on count 2 is 100. Thank you, sir.
That's it? All right.
take this with you. Pass them on to Congress, Your Honor.
Good morning, your name?
Mark Smith.
Mr. Smith, you're here in 19 CF 16494. You were arrested for home invasion robbery with a firearm, attempted first-degree murder with a firearm, and aggravated battery with a firearm that was discharged. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint, well, you didn't fill out the application for the public defender, sir. Did you want me to appoint them to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll appoint them to represent you at this time. And then state, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the police were called to the scene. There had been, there were 2 victims down, one with a gunshot wound to the abdomen, another one a gunshot wound to the head. Both were transported to ORMC in critical condition. At this scene, there are 10 to 14 males who are involved in construction and all live together. There was surveillance video, and one surveillance video showed a vehicle back up, and later the vehicle was seen driving away, and one of the males were seen running down the street. There was a second surveillance video that showed a vehicle gray in color, four-door, with a missing right rear hubcap. So one of the people who lived in the building said that other witnesses had told him that they recognized the female who was involved, and they were able to give the phone number. And also another one who was involved, who was a victim inside the resident, but not one of the ones who were injured, told the officer that he was held at gunpoint inside the residence and was told to get on his knees, and he complied. He was shown a photo lineup, and he was able to identify Sarah Amanda Johnston in the lineup. They then went to her residence, and the vehicle in the driveway matched the surveillance video. They had a search warrant that had been signed by Judge Karsten, and during the execution, they found defendant Mark Churchill Smith, defendant Cuevas Anthony Jones, and Sarah Amanda Johnston. They were all separated and interviewed separately. Ms. Johnston was read her Miranda warnings, and she admitted going with the other three males previously mentioned to the residence, and she claimed that she had entered the residence and then wasn't involved in the robbery. She later also led the deputies to the location of a hidden firearm that Mr. Jones used during the incident. Mark Churchill was read his Miranda warnings, and he advised he understood. He said he traveled with the other three defendants, and he claimed to have no knowledge of what was going on. And he said that all of a sudden Mr. Smith pulled out a gun, went in the residence, and he advised then he pulled out his gun and placed the two males in the pool area at gunpoint. And he advised that Mr. Smith entered, began shooting unknown what victims at that point. Mr. Smith said that his brother Jeremy Smith also had a firearm. Cuevas Anthony Smith was read his Miranda warnings, and he admitted that it was a robbery gone wrong. He advised the intent was to rob the occupants of the resident, and when questioned about his firing his firearm, he claimed the fires were warning shots and said sometimes you had to let them know what's up. During this investigation, it was determined that Sarah Amanda Johnson, Mark Churchill Smith, Jeremy Smith, and Cuevas Anthony Smith traveled to the 2137 Barksdale address in order to commit a robbery home invasion. It was known that the males inside the residence kept large quantities of cash. During the course of the home invasion, multiple rounds were fired. They also took a cell phone, and during the home invasion, one of the defendants ultimately shot one victim in the head and another in the abdomen. According to ORMC, the victim shot in the head is not likely to survive. The other one is critical but stable. So in summary, the three suspects were interviewed regarding their involvement, and they each made admissions to different aspects of the case. Jeremy Smith was still outstanding at the time of this affidavit. And also the 9mm firearm used in the incident was recovered from the address, and the getaway vehicle that was in the surveillance video was also found at the address. So the state would argue that there is proof evident or presumption great, and that the defendant should be held without bond.
Your Honor, we defer the matter to the court.
All right. The state has met their burden based upon the information contained in the sworn probable cause affidavit for arrest to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great at this time, and I will not exercise discretion in setting a bond. Bond will remain at none as to each of the three counts. Sir, you are not to have any contact with any of your co-defendants. You're also not to return to the scene. and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
DeAndre Lee.
Mr. Lee, this is 19 MM 778. You were arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Lee?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lee, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You cannot return to the public.
So I will be getting out today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You need to listen to me. I'm not finished talking.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can't return to the Publix at 1545 Rock Spring Road.
In
When you
Poplar?
leave, right, where you
Yes.
were arrested, okay?
Yes,
You can't go
ma'am.
back. When you leave the jail, they're going to give you a court date. You have to go to that court date, otherwise a warrant is going to be issued for your arrest, you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Well, can I say one thing? Well, why can't I just do like a couple of days in county and get out? Why can't I
Because the
just-
state doesn't have an offer on your case, and a petty theft is an enhanceable offense, and if the state doesn't want to plea it today, I can't make them do that, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So you
ma'am.
just need to make sure you come back to court.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All right.
ma'am. I will make sure I come back to court.
All right, thank you.
Number 2, termination.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Adam Brown.
Mr. Brown, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of St. Lucie County for dealing in stolen property and giving false information to a pawnbroker. Bond on count 1 is $20,000. Bond on count 2 is $15,000. If you're unable to post that bond, sir, St. Lucie County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance.
How long does that take?
They usually have 72 hours to come and pick you up, so it's 3 business days. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
How about Crusita Sanchez?
She is mental health counselor.
Okay, so this was just to see about the out on bond cases, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Did she come in on a new law over the weekend or something?
I want to say she's bonded. Do you have the inmate number? I can pull it up.
Yeah, it's 190-34387.
Who's RR?
So then when she came in,
She went on that FTA warrant,
okay,
but the bond on the warrant, probably RR.
okay.
I got it.
That makes sense, okay. I mean, I see the court dockets for these, so this is just whether or not to take any action on these cases? All right, I'm not gonna take any action on either of the out on bond cases. Ms. Fowler, it looks like though, when I'm see the court docket, she does have a hearing on February 17th in front of Judge McGinnis for both of the cases. Or, no, the second one is Judge Jewett on February 3rd. So you wanna get that information to her as well, okay? All right, tell me your name, please.
Davers Bieneme.
Sir, you are here in 19 CF 4160. You failed to appear for a pretrial conference.
Yeah, I showed up and they give me another court date on the 11th, and I don't know, they just put a warrant out for me. But I have a court date coming up on the 11th. That's what the bailiff told me at the courthouse when I showed up.
Did you talk to the judge?
No, the judge never called my name. So I stood there, stayed there for like 2-3 hours. And then I talked to the bailiff. They told me they moved my court date on the 11th of this month.
Why didn't you talk to the judge or the lawyer?
The lawyer wasn't there. The judge was calling everybody else's name, but I was just sitting there. And I talked to the bailiff while he was talking to other people.
I don't have any notes. You'll have to have your lawyer file a motion with Judge Young, but I would advise you that every time you're in court, you need to make sure that they know you're there.
I don't want to be disrespectful and just. wait it
Okay,
out.
so your bond right now is set at none. You'll have to have your lawyer file a motion in front of Judge Young, who issued the KPS. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Michael Brown.
Mr. Brown, you have several cases this morning. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all of the cases. You have 19 CF 15836. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for robbery and for grand theft third degree. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to return to the Metro PCS store at 2704 North Pine Hills Road. You're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses in that case. You have 19 CF 16056. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for grand theft third degree. Your bond is $2,500. You are not to have any contact with the witnesses or the victim in that case, or to return to the Metro PCS store at 5389 South Kirkman Road. You have 19 CF 10682. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for grand theft third degree, retail theft of $300 or more, and conspiracy to commit grand theft. Bond on count 1 is $500. Bond on count 2 is $150. Bond on count 3 is $150. You are not to return to the T-Mobile store at 4693 Gardens Park Boulevard. You have 19 CF 13923. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for robbery and for battery. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $500. And you are not to return to the Cricket Wireless at 4680 Millennia Plaza Way. And you're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses or victims in that case either. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Daniels in the hospital room.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Daniel for when he's released.
Deani Dowdy, confused.
I'm gonna find a waiver of Ms. Dowdy's appearance based upon her refusal to come to court. She was arrested in 19 CF 16474 for possession of a controlled substance and possession of methamphetamine. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $150. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Vasily Floryanovich. Good morning.
Sir, you were arrested in 19 CF 16493 for driving while license revoked as a habitual offender. I find probable cause for driving while license suspended. His habitual offender status expired in April of 2018. Bond is $500. Sir, you're not to drive without a valid driver's license, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Daniel Gonzalez is in hospital, Your Honor.
We'll reset Mr. Gonzalez for when he's released.
Dwayne Graham is downtown court.
We'll reset Mr. Green. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jesse Hubbard.
Mr. Hubbard, you are here in 18 CF 10443. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for burglary of a conveyance. You are not to return to the scene. You're not to have any contact with Timothy Barrett. Your bond is $500, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Bell.
Your Honor, was the PD appointed?
Yes, thank you. There's only one count on the information. Jesse Hubbard. That's okay. Good morning, your name?
Janeza Jocks.
Ms. Jocks, you are here in 19 CF 16499. You were arrested for trespassing on a designated construction site. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You need to make sure that you contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release from the jail so that they know the best way to keep in contact with you, and you must attend your next court date.
Okay.
All right, if you fail to appear for court, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Sarah Johnston is mental health, Your Honor.
All right. We will reset Ms. Johnston. Good morning, your name?
Cuevas Jones.
Mr. Jones, you have two cases this morning. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in both of the cases. You have 19 CF 3586. You failed to appear. For a pretrial on November 27th of this year. Your bond in that matter is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender, as I said, if they weren't previously appointed. You are also here in 19 CF 16492. You were arrested for home invasion robbery with a firearm, attempted first-degree murder with a firearm, and aggravated battery with a firearm. There is probable cause for each of those offenses. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a co-defendant in the previous case where there were two victims, one with a gunshot shot to the abdominal area, another to the head, transported to ORMC. There was surveillance video that identified a gray four-door vehicle with a missing hubcap. There was also someone who lived at the residence that had been told that there was a female suspect that they recognized and gave her phone number, and through her contact they were able to go to her residence. There was also a witness who was able to identify the woman in the lineup, and her name was Sarah Amanda Johnston. So after they found Miss Johnston's residence, they were able to find the vehicle. They were interviewed her after reading her Miranda warnings. She admitted that all four had traveled to the residence. She claimed that she came out prior to the robbery. She said that afterward, they drove away in the identified gun. And she also located a hidden firearm that Queff says Anthony Jones used during the incident. And later, Mark Churchill was read his Miranda warnings, and he said that Queff says Anthony Smith, maybe a typo there, pulled out his gun and went toward the residence. He said that the Churchill Smith then pulled out his gun, and they placed 2 males in the pool area at gunpoint. And he said that Smith entered the residence and began shooting, and that Mr. Smith also was read his Miranda warnings and admitted that the incident was a robbery gone wrong. He advised the intent was to rob the occupants of the resident. When questioned about firing his handgun, he claimed the shots were warning shots, said sometimes you have to let him know what's up. All 3 suspects that were found were interviewed regarding their involvement, and they made different admissions to different aspects of the crime. All 3, also the 9mm firearm used was recovered from the residence, and the vehicle used as a getaway vehicle was recovered from the residence. The state argues that there's proof evident or presumption great, and the defendant should be held without bond.
Ms. Fowler?
Your Honor, we defer the matter to the court.
Okay. So based upon the information that is contained in the sworn probable cause affidavit, including the admissions of Mr. Jones, the state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great. I'm not going to exercise discretion in setting a bond. Bond on each count, bond on count 1 and count 2 is set at none. Bond on count 3 will remain at $1,000. Sir, you are not to have any contact with the victims in this matter. You're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses or your co-defendants. You're not to return to the scene, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Thank you.
Thank you.
How about Mr. Joseph?
Mr. Joseph is Creole interpreter, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll see him this afternoon. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Andrew Corey, Khoury.
Mr. Corey, you have 2 cases this morning. You've got 19 CF 16483. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 will be $150. Bond on count 3 is $150. You also have 19 CT 1424. You were arrested for DUI with property damage to another. Your bond in that matter will be $100. And I believe, sir, your application for the public defender states you make $800 per week. Is that correct?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So, and you don't have any family members or children that you take care of?
No.
All right. So based upon your affidavit, you do not qualify for the public defender.
Okay.
You're gonna have to try to hire a lawyer to help you with this case. If you're unable to do that when you go back to court, let the judge know what steps you did take to hire a lawyer, and they can readdress the issue with you at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you.
Will I get it? Am I do? Can I ask?
Good morning, your name?
Rasheem Merritt.
Ms. Grant, it looks like you're here because the bondsman has endorsed your bond. So Jenny, on this case, they found an information.
Only on 2 counts.
Right, so do I just reset the bond for only 2 counts? Yeah? Okay. Or do what? So bond on count one is gonna be $2,500, bond on count two is gonna be $150.
Your Honor, what about the third count?
So the state filed an information in this case, and they only charged him with 2 counts. They charged him with dealing in stolen property and receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification. They charged him with only 2 counts. So when he came in the first time, he had burglary of a conveyance, grand theft 3rd degree, and dealing in stolen property. And that is what he was arrested for. And then when the state actually made a charging decision, they charged him with dealing in stolen property and receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification. So I set bond on both of those counts.
Mine has the 3 that he came in on. Right, state did not file count 3.
Well, they're different charges.
Yeah, well, you said file on count 1 and count 2.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
my
so
count
just keep
1
it
and
like
count 2 said
It's
right
okay.
here.
Yeah, but you can just do, so put 2,500, that's right, and then put state did not file, what he did. Right.
But the state is fine.
All right, Mr. Mayor, so you understand you have a $2,500 bond on count 1 and a $150 bond on count 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Joshua Petty.
Mr. Petty, you were here in 19 CF 16500. You were arrested for trespassing on a construction site. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, sir. You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release from the jail to let them know the best contact information for you, and you must appear at your next court date. If you fail to appear, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Okay? Thank you, sir. Oh, and you cannot return to that construction site?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Lamar Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, this is 19 CF 12910. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for failing to report within 30 days. Your bond is $2,500, sir, and you do have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Retort, it says he's got 2 cases, but I just see them. Okay, so it's just 1 case, okay. Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Miguel Rutort.
Sir, you were here in 19 CF 16502. You were arrested for grand theft 3rd degree and criminal mischief. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to return to the Home Depot. And that's all. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Tina Marie Vanderver.
Sir, or ma'am, this is 19 CF 16488. You were arrested for possession of Xanax, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is 500, your bond on count 2 is 100, your bond on count 3 is 100. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Michael Leonard Williams.
Mr. Williams, you are here at 19 CF 16490. You were arrested for possession of burglary tools and loitering or prowling. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is 500. Your bond on count 2 is 100. I'm just looking to see if the state filed.
They filed 3 times.
Okay, all right. So, and I'm revoking the bond in 19 CF 10767. Oh, that's okay. I just need Mr. Williams back. No problem. Mr. Williams, I was not quite finished. You have an out on bond case, 19 CF 10767. I'm revoking your release on that case, and the bond on that will be set at none, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Good morning. Marcus English.
Mr. English, this is case number 19MM9646. You were arrested for trespass on property. After warning, there's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. English?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, 3 days with credit time served, court costs, no return to scene of trespass.
Mr. English, did you want to resolve your case this morning, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just sign the plea form, please. And Mr. English, did you have a chance to read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You may not return to the Homeless Health Care Center. You have to pay court costs, which will be due by December 2nd of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Latan Floyd.
Mr. Floyd, this is 19 MM 9641. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes, ma'am.
There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. State, is your office proceeding on the possession of drug paraphernalia? Okay. Okay. Do you have an offer for Mr. Floyd?
Not at this time.
Mr. Floyd, did you want to resolve your case this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll need you to sign the plea form, please.
Your Honor, enter a plea of no contest.
Thank you. Mr. Floyd, did you read the plea form before you signed it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You do have to pay court costs, which will be due by December 2nd of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank
Yes,
you, sir.
ma'am.
Good morning, your name?
Ashler Henry.
Mr. Henry, you are here in 19 MM 9650. You were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $500. I'm revoking the bond in 19 CF 13998, 19 MM 8129, and 19 CT 7311. Those bonds will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, separately bonded, Your Honor.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
Bobby Pugh also bonded.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Adonai Barrow.
Ma'am, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County
Yes.
related to failing to appear for pretrial. Your bond is set at none. Seminole County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there. I'm not going to take any action on the out-on-bond case for Orange County. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
ma'am.
Are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're here for failing to appear on a no valid driver's license out of Hillsborough County. Your bond is $500. If you cannot post the bond, Hillsborough County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Excuse me, ma'am. I've never been in Hillsborough County. It's from Dade County, over in Lottery and Parolin, ma'am. Never been in Hillsborough County. Gotta be a mistake. They served me this morning with a warrant from Dade County over the Lottery and Parolin, ma'am.
This says Hillsborough County. It says confirm agency, Hillsborough County.
I never been. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
I hear you.
I think you have the one for the other.
Are you Victor Rodriguez?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Jadier Rodriguez Reyes, ma'am. Jadir, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I apologize for the confusion, sir. There's another Mr. Rodriguez, and
No,
when I said
no
that, you
problem.
said yes?
No problem, ma'am.
All right, and then it looks like they're telling me you already posted your bond anyhow.
Excuse me? Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay. Mr. Yes, yes.
Bond Armstrong refused.
All right, I'm gonna find a waiver of Ms. Armstrong's appearance based upon her refusal to come to court. She was arrested in 19 CF 16441 for possession of cocaine, possession of heroin, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent her. Bond on count 1 is 1,000, bond on count 2 is 150, bond on count 3 is 100.
Lloyd Barber also refused, Your Honor.
All right. This is 19 CF 16457. I'm waiving Mr. Barber's appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. He was arrested for burglary of an occupied conveyance. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent him. Bond is $5,000. Are you Miss Jack?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Jack, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Marion County.
Yes, ma'am.
It's for a violation of probation. Your bond is set at none. Marion County is going to come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Okay, can you make it for an expedited?
Well, I can't expedite it, but I know that they have 3 days to come pick you up, 72 hours. If they don't, you'll be brought back in front of me. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, ma'am, was that 72 hours from the day I was arrested or from today?
From today, correct? Yes, from
Okay,
today.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Mr. Ramey is mental health.
Ms. Fowler, you want to go try to talk with Mr. Ramey and see if we can get him to come to court? This was the second time the case had been reset. He does qualify for PTR.
Okay.
So maybe someone can go talk to him and see if he wants to just kind of gauge the situation and see if we're going to have him soon.
I'll go talk to him.
Okay, thank you. Oh, Mom. Yes, thank you.
Will we reset him for tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you Miss Hall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is 19 MM 9231. This is defense motion for non-monetary release conditions. State, did you have a position on the motion?
Yes, Your Honor. She has 7 felonies, 17 misdemeanors, 5 failure to appears. So we would ask that her
bond be stayed.
When was Ms. Hall's last failure to appear?
December of 2017.
Ms. Fowler, did you want to have your client sworn?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Rachel Lynn Hall.
Do you have family or friends that live in the Orlando, Florida
All my
area?
family lived in Ocoee.
Are they able to assist you financially to secure a bond?
No.
How many years have you lived in Orlando?
43.
Where will you be residing upon your release from the Orange County Jail?
Where I was born, 1604 Doreen Avenue, Ocoee, Florida.
Upon your release from Orange County Jail, will you seek employment?
Yes, I have got part-time dog grooming at the Silver Star Animal Hospital.
Upon release from the Orange County Jail, what means of transportation are you going to use to ensure that you appear for court?
My mother is going to pick me up.
Okay. Are you going to maintain contact with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And upon your immediate release, what major acts will you take?
I'm calling my mom to go to her house.
Your Honor, that concludes testimony.
All right. State, any questions?
None at this time.
All right. So, Ms. Hall, I'm going to grant your motion. You are not to return to the Wawa at 3501 Millennia Parkway.
ma'am.
You are to attend all court appearances, and you are to maintain contact with your lawyer. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Are we ready on the 33-day motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I am on the line at your earliest convenience.
Good afternoon, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Letitia Fowler, the Office of Public Defender.
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, for the record, Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter, previously sworn.
Thank you. Sir, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Víctor Manuel Rodríguez Guerrero.
Víctor Manuel Rodríguez Guerrero.
I need to inform you, I understand that you've posted your bond.
I'm sorry, Your
however-
Honor, there's some interference on the line. I think the public defender was putting on her headset. It was kind of getting in the way. My
All right.
apologies.
That's
Can you
okay.
start that again, please?
Sure will. Sir, I need to inform you that you have an ICE detainer. You will not be released until that hold has been released.
Perdón, no escuché.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get that. What was that now?
You have an immigration hold.
Sí.
Yes?
Okay, I have to inform you that by law. You will not be released from the jail until the hold has been released.
Ok, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, may the interpreter be provided the case number for this defendant, please?
I do not have.
19 CT 8725.
I'm sorry, if someone was speaking to the interpreter, I need a microphone, please. I'm sorry.
19 CT 8725.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir. Tell me your name, please.
César Villanueva Cordero.
César Villanueva Cordero.
Sir, you are here in case number 19MM9156. This is your arraignment for the offenses of petty theft and providing false ID to law enforcement. You're represented by the public defender. How would he like to proceed, Ms. Fowler?
State, do you have an offer?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
I don't understand the question you're asking. You want me to just plead guilty?
No, sir. I'll give you a moment to speak to your lawyer.
Repeat.
And state, what is the offer? I'm sorry.
Adjudication of guilt, 30 days in the Orange County Jail. We believe there's 20 days approximately of credit time served. No return to the.
I'm sorry, counsel, if you could kindly approach a microphone.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Adjudication of guilt, 30 days in the Orange County Jail, 20 days, we believe, for credit time served, no return to the scene of the Walmart, court cost, the merchandise was recovered, and there was no cost of investigation, so there would be no restitution.
Ms. Fowler, he has 21 days.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, for the record, the interpreter on the line is no longer interpreting for the defendant.
Yes, thank you.
Your Honor, he'd like to accept the offer. Enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. Sir, I'll need you to sign the plea form, please. Sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Your Honor, he stated yes.
Okay. Is this, I'm sorry, can you tell me your name, please?
My name's Angel Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, have you been sworn in?
No, I haven't.
Okay, could you swear him in, please?
You raise your right hand. Do you swear to interpret from Spanish to English and Spanish the testimony you will receive today?
Yes, I do.
And then for the benefit of the interpreter that's on the line, we're going to use the interpreter for Mr. Villanueva because he can't hear.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Usted leyó el acuerdo declaratorio
Sí,
antes de
sí, sí,
firmarlo.
sí.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta acerca de los derechos
No.
que usted está cediendo?
No.
No.
Are you on probation?
¿Usted está en alguna libertad vigilada? No probatoria.
Ajá.
¿Usted está en una probatoria?
No, no, yo no estoy, yo tengo probatorio.
No.
Okay. Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
No es ciudadano de Estados Unidos, usted está sujeto a deportación.
Es que yo soy ciudadano americano.
He is a U.S. citizen.
All right, sir. And have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, No.
Su decisión de hoy.
no uso nada.
I don't use anything.
All right, I'm going to accept your plea,
Ella va a aceptar su declaración.
adjudicate you guilty,
Adjudicado culpable.
Está bien.
sentence you to 30 days in the Orange County Jail.
Va a sentenciar a 30 días en el condado de Orange, en la cárcel.
You
Yeah,
have
you're
credit
complete.
for 21 days, time served.
Eh, I'm sorry, can you please repeat that, Your Honor?
Yes, he's sentenced to 30 days,
Está sentenciado a 30 días
and he has credit for 21
y
days.
ya usted tiene crédito por 21 días.
Ok,
You are not to return to the Walmart.
No puede regresar al Walmart.
ok.
You have to pay court costs, which are due by December 2nd of 2020.
Tiene que pagar el gasto de la corte que tiene que darlo antes del diciembre 2 del 2020.
Está bien.
And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Ah, ya, yo soy culpable.
I'm guilty.
Thank you, sir. All right. Okay. Good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Omar Torres Suarez.
Omar Torres Suarez.
This is case number 19 CF 9519. Sir, you failed to appear for pretrial on November 5th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they were not previously appointed. Thank you. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Sabino Mateo Benito.
Sabino Mateo Benito.
This is case number 19 CF 16505. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a weapon, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with Roberto Michaels. You are to maintain a.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, the interpreter's having difficulty hearing you.
Sorry
Thank
about
you, Your
that.
Honor.
No problem.
No problem.
Okay. Sir, you are not to have any contact with Roberto Michaels. You are to maintain a separate residence, and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Thank you. Mr. Mateo, do you have any questions about the no contact order?
No, lo que una pregunta nada más de, lo que pasa es que me dice que no puede tener contacto con esa persona porque él vive conmigo en esa casa, no sé cómo voy a hacer.
I have a question because you told me not to have contact with this person, but they live in my home.
I don't know what to tell you about that, sir. I
Okay.
can't make them leave, but you cannot have contact with that person.
Lo que pasa es que esa casa yo estoy rentando, está mi nombre de esa casa y qué hago, ¿me salgo yo o sale
So
ella?
that house that it's renting, it's rented in my name, so what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to leave?
If he's there, yes.
No, okay.
Your Honor,
Okay.
he has a one-time return
Yes.
to get his personal belongings.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And then, Mr. Mateo, I'm going to place you on pretrial release. You're going to report in person every other week.
Your Honor, can you set a bond?
Okay. Entonces salgo hoy o cómo tengo que.
So am I getting out today or what's going to happen?
If you qualify for pretrial release, why does he need to have a bond?
He doesn't have an alternative address, so he has to have an address provided for pretrial or in the release on pretrial.
Got it, okay. So bond will be 1,500 or pretrial release if he can provide the alternate address.
Ok, entonces no, la misma dirección dice donde desde ayer, el del 2912 Drive, ¿qué Drive? La misma dirección, le gustaría, no voy a buscar
Clarification, Your Honor.
No, le digo, lo que pasa es que, bueno, lo que voy a hacer, digo, voy a salirme yo a rentar otro lado, pues ya para no tener mucho más problema entonces.
Okay, so when I get out, I'm just going to rent another place just to, so I don't have any further problems.
Okay, so that's up to you.
Ok, entonces, sí, ok, entonces tengo que pagar 1,500 de fianza entonces, o cómo.
So then my bond is $1,500 or what?
Yes.
Ok. Ok, entonces déjame hablar entonces, a ver si la persona que venga a pagar entonces.
So let me talk to them and see if someone can come and pay for it.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir, your name?
Marco Antonio González.
Marco Antonio Gonzalez.
Sir, you have two cases this afternoon. I will appoint the public defender to represent you on both. You have 14 CT 281. This is a violation of probation. It is alleged that you violated your probation by failing to pay your $50 per month toward your cost of supervision for the months of February and March of 2015, and you're $100 behind. You also failed to participate in the recommended treatment as ordered by the court on May 19th and as instructed by your probation officer. You've also failed to pay the balance of your fines and costs as of March 16th of 2015. Your bond is set at $2,500 in that case. And then you have 19 CT 8720 and 19 CT 8721. You were arrested for driving under the influence and no valid driver's license. There is probable cause for both. Bond on count 1 is $500, bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Is that your key? Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
Gerson Pacheco.
Gerson Pacheco.
I wonder if that's the one that came from courtroom 2. Yep. So you have case number 19MM966. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Shayla Jimenez Cordova, Ana Najera, or Edwin Portillo Ramos. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You are to comply with any DCF requests or investigation. I'm going to place you on pre-trial. Does he qualify independently for pretrial?
He's on state probation.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Well, just a second. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna set your bond at $500 on 19MM 9666. I'm gonna add the condition of random urinalysis to 19MO 1081. I'm not gonna revoke the release on that case, but I'm gonna add the new condition of random urinalysis. Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, the interpreter just confirmed this last defendant's case number was at 19MM966.
Is that the new case?
19MM966. 36.
There's 3 6s.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Do you require the further assistance of the Spanish interpreter?
I do not believe so.
All right, Your Honor. Thank you very much. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much, you too. She's on the line? Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna call the first case. Good afternoon, tell me your name, please.
Good.
Alors, comment relève, s'il te plaît?
Mbele Faustin Joseph.
Vous relève comment?
Faustin Joseph.
My name is Faustin Joseph.
Sir, you're here in case number 19 CF 16498.
1649. Oulana K2 19 CF 16498.
You were
Yes.
arrested. You were arrested for leaving the scene of a crash with injuries and resisting officer without violence.
Could you repeat that, please? You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
You were arrested for leaving the scene of a crash with injuries and resisting officer without violence.
Ok, yo arrête parce que ou fait une fois accident, qui te fait un accident, te gen moun qui te frappé, et puis le police là, t'as l'arrêté ou te résisté, même pas de gen violence.
There is probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Gen cause probable, et ma bon défense publique qui pour représenter yo.
Your bond on count 1 is $2,500.
Premier bon nou c'est $2,500.
Your bond on count 2 is $100.
Deuxième bon nan sous deuxième frère c'est $100.
Thank you, sir.
Merci, monsieur.
All right.
Okay, the next case is 19 CF 16510. Tell me your name, please.
Good afternoon, Judge. My name is Patrick Harris.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Sir, tell me your name, please.
Dis-moi mon relais, s'il vous plaît, monsieur.
Mwele Anastal Bien-Aimé.
My name is Anastal Bien-Aimé.
You were arrested for battery by strangulation, domestic violence.
Yo te arrêté pour peut-être batterie avec strangulation. OK, de violence.
And battery.
Et batterie.
Oui.
Yes.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Madame, bon après-midi.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Ma'am,
Good afternoon.
do you need the help of the interpreter as well?
Est-ce que vous pouvez interpréter la pour aider, madame?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Madam Interpreter, could you please ask her her name?
Madame, comment relais? Okay, I cannot hear her. Could you ask her to speak a little bit louder, please?
Well, ma'am,
Sorry.
you'll have to move toward the microphone.
Avancez premier coup à madame et parlez plus fort. Comment relais?
Gentilène Augustin.
All right, thank you. And then,
Gentilène Augustin.
all right, and we'll just need to swear you in before you provide testimony. Arlene, could you swear her in, please?
Raise your right hand, please.
Levez mes doigts, tout, madame.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Est-ce que vous demandez si la vérité que vous avez seulement que la vérité que bon Dieu aide vous?
Seulement vérité.
Mr. Harris, did you want to inquire of the witness?
I have no questions at this time.
Okay. Are you requesting contact between the two
Currently, they live in separate homes, and I would ask that they have limited contact for the sake of their child, but they don't need to be, they live separate places.
Okay. Ma'am. Miss Augustine, do you want to have contact with Mr. Bien-Amin?
Hello?
Madam Interpreter, can you interpret that, please? You don't hear?
I thought she said I don't.
Hello?
Oui, hello?
Yes. Ma'am, I need you to ask the witness if she'd like to have contact with Mr. Bien-Amin.
Hello?
Madam Interpreter, are you on the line? Hello? Okay, can we hang up and call back?
Haitian Creole.
All right, here we go. Ma'am, are you on the line?
Yes.
Okay. Could you please ask the witness if she wants to have contact with Mr. Bien-Amin?
Est-ce que vous voulez gagner contact avec Monsieur Bien-Amin?
Mpel, mpa vle gen kontak avel ankor.
I'm scared of him. I don't want to have any contact with him anymore.
Do you have any concerns about your child's safety with Mr. Bien-Amin?
Est-ce que vous avez une inquiétude concernant la sécurité pistoire avec Monsieur Bien-Aimé?
Pardon?
Est-ce que vous avez une inquiétude concernant la sécurité pistoire avec Monsieur Bien-Aimé?
Oui.
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying that you don't want him to have contact with the child, is that right?
Ça veut dire ou pas vle pour gagner aucun contact avec petite là, c'est ça?
Bon, paske mpel, mpa di pou l pa gen kontak avek pitit li non, paske se pitit li, mi mpa vle se la kay mwen pou l vin wel.
I did not say that I don't want him to have contact with his kids because I'm scared of him, but I just don't want that to happen in my home.
Right, I understand, and I will order that he cannot have contact with you, but what I'm trying to figure out is a way to facilitate contact for him with the child.
Ok, moi comprendre ça, ça que moi comprendre m'a fait que le pas gagne aucun contact ensemble avec ou, mais moi voulais faire un jeu pour faciliter comment pour le faire pour gagner contact avec tout le monde.
So to be clear, you don't have any concerns about your daughter's safety when Mr. Bien-Aimé is caring for her?
Juste pour nous faire clair dans ça, ou pas gagne aucun problème de sécurité si petit ou on t'a ensemble avec monsieur Bien-Aimé et que l'été avec notre petit temps, c'est ça?
Pardon?
I'm sorry?
Ma'am, do you have any concerns about your daughter's safety when she is in the custody of Mr. Bien-Aimé?
Madame, est-ce que vous avez inquiétude concernant la sécurité petite ou l'elle avec monsieur Bien-Aimé?
Non, je n'ai pas d'inquiétude pour lui avec petit là. Peut-être pas.
No. About the child and him. It's only myself.
Okay. Are you comfortable having contact with him to exchange custody of your daughter?
Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord pour un contact ensemble avec elle juste pour qu'elle fasse échange de gardien, ça gagne pour elle, pas suivre petit monde non?
Pour pas suivre petit monde non?
To let him see the child?
Yes.
Oui.
Moi, je comprends.
I don't really understand.
Mr. Harris?
Judge, yes, perhaps it's best if, as long as the child's not is not included on any order, that you would allow the parties through a third party to arrange any exchange, as long as that's the only issue they were discussing.
Okay, do we have a third party?
I don't know that yet. It's been difficult for me to communicate with my client also.
Okay.
But if one can be identified.
Okay.
Ok, ça gagne aucun problème, juste depuis que nous avons une troisième partie qui a fait échange avec Simon sans que eux-mêmes ne soient pas en contact. Est-ce qu'on troisième partie? Non, nous ne pouvons pas identifier une troisième partie parce que j'ai des difficultés pour moi parler avec mon client là.
Nous avons une petite chance pour m'exprimer, s'il vous plaît.
Can you give me a chance to speak, please?
Yes, ma'am, what would you like to say?
So Diamond
Sometimes me dit moi t'ai rencontré avec messieurs moi t'ai porté petit moun nan pour lui depuis 3 mois grossesse moi monsieur a fait me souffrir en pile me t'ai ramassé souffrance moi avec courage parce que me t'ai remel c'est papa petite moi m'attend oui parce que me pas ka dit tout yon cours.
Okay, so meeting I met the guy, and then since I was 3 months pregnant, I've been suffering with him, but I accept all that because I was in love with him. So I'm gonna say more.
Yes. Me fait tout 6 mois, m'a souffri. Sous 9e mois, moi fait césarienne. 28. Moi fait césarienne 22 août. 22 août, li déposé la caille moi pour côte moi avec des bébés dans même. Li aller m'a souffri les pour me lever dans opération pour me prendre petite là pas capable me souffrir en pile. M'était kembe souffrance moi avec courage. 2 semaines, 6 jours opération li frappé, li poussé nous sur un canapé.
Madam.
Yeah.
Okay, I accept. During the 6 months, I was suffering a lot. In August 22nd, I had a C-section. What it did is that it picked me up and dropped me home alone with the 2 babies. So I accept all that, all the suffering. I accept them with courage. And 6 days later, he hit me and pushed me to a couch.
Okay.
Moi d'accord avec les familles qui Miami parce que c'est moi même celle qui ici, pas une personne qui ici, moi même celle avec bon Dieu. Les familles Miami me dit ça, yo dit me bal l'état, me dit non c'est pas petite moi pas bal l'état. Go ahead, Maptano.
When I call my family in Miami, because I'm the only one here with Gad, so I call my family in Miami and explained that to them. They told me to call the police on him. And I said I will not do that because as the father of my kids.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate everything that you've said. Mr. Harris, what I think I might do, since there's no third party identified and you haven't had an ability to speak to your client, it might be better to just, I'm gonna leave the no contact order in place, can file the motion in front of Judge Bell, and then have everything kind of set up. I'm still not clear on everyone's position.
I understand, but the child will not be included on the order, just,
The child is included on the order.
okay.
And for purposes of clarity and for having everything clear, I don't know who the third party would be, how that would be facilitated.
Okay.
Okay?
I understand, thank you, Judge.
All right. So, Mr. Bienemy, I'm gonna order at this time that you're not to have any contact, with Miss Augustine.
Oui.
OK. Monsieur bien-aimé, moi juste connais à moi passer l'autre pour pas avoir aucun contact avec Madame Augustine.
Oui.
Yes.
That does include your daughter,
Ça a tout gagné à voir avec petite fille ou là.
but that order can be modified.
Mais ça est ça lui-même il a changé.
OK.
Ça a modifié.
And your
Okay.
lawyer knows how to do that.
Et avocat là comment pour le faire ça?
OK.
You'll need to continue to maintain a separate residence.
Pour continuer pour gagner pour rester en côté.
Non, mwen kote pam, tout moun était nan kay pa yo diferent.
Yes, I do have my own place. Each of us live in our own place, at our own place.
Yes, sir, and you can't possess any weapons or any firearms.
OK, monsieur, ou pas gagner aucune zame ou bien tout pas gagner aucune zame du tout, ni zame à feu.
Non, mba fe via bagay sa yo.
No, I don't have those things.
All right, sir. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
OK, ma mettez-li dans yon essai et que puis la gagne dans moment ça.
OK.
Right, will he need to meet with anyone today?
I think they do that before they go.
Thank you, Judge. So it's
You're welcome.
non-monetary, just so I'm clear?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
OK, a quitté tout le monde aller jeudi. Hein.
Ma'am,
Allô?
do you have any questions?
Est-ce que vous avez une question?
Oui, j'ai question. Question
Yes, I
parce question moi-même communication m'avait coupé, besoin connaître comment petite moyen parce que me voulais mettre dans charge support pour me finir avec toute bagaille.
Okay, my question is that I know my communication with him has been ended, but I want to know how to file for child support.
I can't help you with that, ma'am. That's a different area. You'll have to go talk to a lawyer about that.
Moi, pas qu'à aider ensemble avec ça, madame, ça sont l'autre et particulier, c'est avec avocat pour parler sur dossier ça.
OK.
Okay.
Merci.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Harris?
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right. Madam Interpreter, we have one more case that we need your help with.
Okay.
Sir, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Monsieur, bonsoir. Dis-moi comment relais, s'il vous plaît.
Moi, c'est Jean-Lucie Masselin.
Jean-Lucie Masselin.
Pierre Johnsley? Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Looks like this is case number 19MM770.
Ça, c'est dossier numéro 19MM70, excusez.
This is a reset from yesterday.
C'est reprendre à peu près quand on était quitté hier, là.
It appears that the state was to provide additional information to establish probable cause for count 2.
Il semblait que l'État ait besoin d'informations additionnelles pour dire que il y a cause pour l'autre numéro 2. Hein.
State, did you have that information?
This is the first I've actually heard about this, Your Honor. If I could have a moment to review the file.
Sure.
Ok, est-ce que information de ça? Est-ce que vous avez une chance pour regarder le dossier?
Your Honor, in this case, the victim advised that she was lying in bed. He came in and began hitting her in the face.
Right, but we're here, the only thing I need to know is if you have probable cause to establish there was a trespass.
Oh, the trespass?
Yes, ma'am.
On my form, the count 2 is the aggravated assault.
Am I looking at the right case? So this is Mr. Pierre Jeanlys?
Right.
That's his felony case, that was not reset, just the MM case.
So we're looking at 19 MM 770.
Okay,
And count 2 is a trespass in an occupied structure.
okay.
So unless you have something that someone from your office provided you additional to what's in the affidavit, there wouldn't be probable cause. Because it's not contained within the four corners.
Okay, I don't have any additional information at this time.
Okay. So as to count 2, he will be released on his own recognizance. Madam Interpreter, you could just tell Mr. Jeanlys that he will be released on his own recognizance as to count 2 only.
Ok, Monsieur Jean-Louis, ça qui n'a fait nous blaguer avec propre connaissance par et puis ça gagne à voir avec compter 2.
Oui.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Merci, monsieur.
All right. And Madam
Anything else?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much for all your help.
You're welcome. Thank you for your service and have a good one.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Tell me, or good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Juan Baldwin.
Mr. Baldwin, you were arrested in 19 CF 16503 for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, grand theft, third degree of a firearm, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, fleeing and attempting to elude a police officer, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Bond on count 1 is $4,000. Bond on count 2 is going to be $150. Bond on count 3 is $150. Bond on count 4 is $150. Bond on count 5 is $100. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, your name?
Barrington Samuda.
Sir, this is 19 CF 16504. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
Dante Coffee.
Mr. Coffey, you're here in 16 CF 12262. It is alleged that you have violated your probation by failing to report to probation as directed, and that on June 14th of this year, you were instructed by your probation officer on July 5th at 8:30 a.m. to report to the probation office, and you failed to appear. You also have failed to pay the $20 per month cost of supervision, and you're $300 behind as of July 31st of this year. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You will see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, your name?
Eunice Gabriel.
Mr. Gabriel, this is 19 CF 16508. You were arrested for burglary of a structure and petty theft. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the Bob Carr Auditorium. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $1,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, sir. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Wayne Smith.
Mr. Smith, this is case number 19 CF 16507. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. There is probable cause. Were you going to hire a lawyer to help you with this case, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, I will set your bond at $500. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Adeline Alette.
Miss Alette, you are here in case number 19 CT 8722. You were arrested for driving under the influence with a BAL greater than .20. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Your Honor,
Yes?
would she qualify for a PTR due to her lack of criminal history?
It looks like they were unable to provide any contact numbers, no mailing address, and no community ties were able to be verified. If she could provide all that to pretrial, I have no objection to her being on it. Otherwise, bond will be $500.
Damien LeCount, bond, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Sinclair Lockwood with mental health.
All right, we'll reset Mr. Sinclair's. Good afternoon. Oh, sorry.
Janelle Anderson, also bond.
Oh, okay. Who's that? Are you Mr. Dormiel?
Yes, I'm Mr. Dormiel.
Good afternoon, sir. You are here in 19 MM 9662. You are arrested for trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Dormiel?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, 3 days, credit time served, court costs, no return to the scene of the 7-Eleven at 902 South Orange Avenue.
Mr. Dormiel, did you want to accept the offer?
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave today?
You leave tomorrow.
All right.
Your Honor, was a PD appointed? Your Honor? Was the PD
Yes,
appointed?
I'm sorry, Ms. Fowler, yes, yes, you were. So, Mr. Dormiel, you can't go back to that 7-Eleven, okay?
Yeah,
You've been trespassed,
right,
all right? They're gonna have you arrested every time you go.
yeah,
Did you read the plea form before you signed it?
yeah.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
Questions?
Are you on probation?
No, no, on probation.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah,
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
no drugs or alcohol, nothing.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 1 day, time served. You do have to pay court costs, which are due by December 2nd of 2020. You can't return to the 7-Eleven, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you. What about Derek Preston Rivera? Okay. And then we just need a Turkish interpreter. Are they on? Great. Good afternoon, are you there?
I'm here, ma'am.
Great, okay, I'm gonna call the case.
Okay, thank you.
This is 19 MM 9642.
MM 9642.
Sir, please tell me your name.
Ömür Cihan Karadağoğlu. Omur.
Omur Cihan Serdaroğlu.
Karadağoğlu, yes.
Karadağoğlu, I'm sorry.
Sir, you were arrested for battery domestic violence.
Siz darp ve aile içi şiddet için tutuklandınız.
Evet.
Yes.
There is probable cause.
Bunun için bir olası sebep var, muhtemel sebep var.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Sizin için devlet tarafından bir avukat belirleyeceğim.
Tamam.
Okay.
You are not to have any contact with Neslihan Karadoglu?
Okay.
Neslihan Karadağoğlu'yla hiçbir şekilde irtibata geçmemeniz gerekiyor.
Tamam.
Okay.
You are to maintain a separate residence.
Would you mind repeating that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. He is to maintain a separate residence.
Ona göre bir mesafede oturmanız gerekiyor.
Tamam.
Okay.
And you're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Herhangi bir silah veya herhangi bir silah bulundurmamanız gerekiyor yanınızda.
Tamam, hiçbir zaman yok zaten.
Okay, I never have it.
Your bond is $500.
Kefaletiniz $500.
Okay. Teşekkür. Thank you.
Sir, do you have any questions about the no contact order?
Sormak istediğiniz herhangi bir şey var mı? İrtibata geçmemeniz gereken durumla ilgili.
Yok, irtibata geçmemem gerekiyorsa ne kadar gün geçmemem gerekiyor?
Is there a specific time frame? How long do I need not to be in contact?
Until the case is over.
Bu dava bitene kadar.
Peki şöyle sorayım. Benim 5 yaşında bir oğlum var. Hani oğlumu görmek için kontağa girmem gerekebilir. Bu dava çok uzun sürer mi?
So, since I have a 5 years old son and I would need to see my son, I was wondering if this case is going to take a long time. How long do I need to wait until I can see my son?
The order does apply to your son until it is modified by another judge.
Şimdi başka bir hakim tarafından değişene kadar bu kural aynı zamanda olduğunuz için de geçerli, ona da yaklaşamıyorsunuz.
Tamam. Peki bu uzun mu sürecek peki? Yani onu sorayım en azından da.
Is there an estimate time how long will the court take place?
I don't know.
Bilmiyorum.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, sir?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you for using our services. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. And we'll, court will be in recess.